get to know the other person. But if you got sex in the equation, a lot of people are always not wanting to cause any problems because they don't want to upset the sex. So we talked about, get to know the people. Do you have the same goals and objectives? Do you like each other? Do you have the same things you like? There's a saying that most people are not compatible. Most people fall in love with people who will put up with their mess. So we got to understand that. And I have a saying that says nobody really knows anybody until after they've been married 5 years. So people who get in a relationship and start a relationship, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't work out. But I think, and I don't have a time frame. If you meet somebody, you want to marry them and get in a relationship right off the bat, that's good with me because I don't think most people are really who they are until things get a little closer and you decide this person's the person I really want to be with. So, a lot of times, if you've been in a relationship and you find yourself in a marriage and you don't see that the marriage is working out, a lot of times it's because some of the things that you let go while you were cohabitating, shacking, whichever word you want to use, and now you're married. Well, all of that doesn't change. Doesn't change. As I stated before, if you marry a dog, only thing different when it comes from the altar is that it's been kissed and it has a ring on its paw. But you have the same person. That person has not changed just because you married. That takes a personal decision. Nobody makes personal decisions. Nobody outside of you can make a personal decision for you. That's your stuff. You got to look at that and figure out how are you going to do about it. So, as I'm looking over here, we're going to start on this particular lesson, and this particular lesson is called infatuation. Have you ever been infatuated with somebody? The writer says infatuation lasts from 6 months to maybe 2 years. And when you're infatuated with a person, a lot of times you overlook some of the faults because you're kind of drugged. They say infatuation is a drug that falls over your head and it kind of puts your brain to sleep for a long time. You meet somebody and you're so infatuated with them, you give them your keys, you let them move in with you, you let their kids move in with you, you let a lot of other things that happen in this infatuation piece. So you got to be careful about infatuation. So this piece is talking about infatuation, and the writer states very, very clearly that when you're infatuated with somebody, uh, a lot of times that infatuation can cause problems. So I'm infatuated with this person, and it's going to be a problem somehow. And they said a lot of time infatuations, people overlook certain things. They overlook lies. They overlook control. People want to be controlled. When you're infatuated, you don't think the person want to be is controlling. You say, "Oh, they just want me to wear these clothes because they think I look cuter in them, or she thinks I look cute." Sometimes they're controlling you. You used to be an outgoing person, and now you're wearing very dull looking clothes, and you're not attractive because this person doesn't want you to be attractive. This person wants to keep you to themselves. To themselves. So you got to be careful when folks say, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? Another thing is you overlook people taking advantage of you. You just think, well, it's just they're having a hard time. It's not really that, and it's not like that. But actually, they are taking advantage of you. Second thing, fourth thing is you see when you see a person that always seems to believe that they're the victim. That's a behavior problem. It's everybody else's fault. It's not my fault. I didn't cause this. The person doesn't take responsibility for his or her children. Now, I've worked in the fatherhood program for many years, and I've always told my fathers that these kids belong to you. They don't belong to somebody else. These are your kids. You need to do something with them and for them. It doesn't always cost money, but time is a very valuable piece. So if you're not taking responsibility for your children and for your life, what does that mean for us and our relationship? Believes that others are out to get them. I always believed, somebody's out to get me. I had a guy who got fired from several jobs, and every job he said the people were trying to get me. And I'm asking him, is there a list out there or something that y'all don't know? Also, problem is people use people. They use people for their own advantage. They use people for their own advantage, and does not take into consideration the other people. Puts negative spins on everything. No matter what you talk to them, they got a negative, never a positive. Changes just to please others. I believe that's a problem because to me that's a chameleon personality. Changes just to please others. I believe that if everybody likes you, there is something wrong with you. Everybody should respect you, but everybody does not have to like you. That is not a prerequisite. They should respect you, but they should not have to like you. Has a big mood strings. When somebody has a mood string, you over here sometimes it may be, you have to check that. That may be drug related. That may be depression. Some of those things, you need to check that out. Gets angry very fast. Why are you so angry? What's the problem? What did I say? What did I do? Blames other. It's not my fault. Somebody else did it. Abuses substance. That's something you can't cure. That's something the individual has to. Cheats and won't stay faithful. Sometimes it has to do with a very poor feeling of oneself, and we'll get to that in a later lesson. And also does crime. Those problems. The person does crime, you're going to constantly have a problem. They're going to constantly be a problem in your life. Cheats and won't stay faithful. I don't understand. Person won't stay faithful. I got a problem. I know people making mistakes, but I got a problem. I don't know about you. Doesn't handle money well. That's a problem. Doesn't handle money well. You get in a relationship. Do you think because you're in a relationship with them, they're going to different? Won't keep a job. Always got an excuse of why they're unemployed. They don't like me on a job. They don't care for me. It's not my fault. Come on now. Come on now. Everybody can't be out to get you. So you need to think about those kind of things when you're talking about in a relationship. A relationship. Things that you need to look out for in a relationship. Problems. If you're infatuated with somebody, hey, nothing wrong with that. Hang in there. Enjoy the ride. But don't lose your mind. Don't lose your mind. Keep your mind. While your mind's on vacation, still remember I got goals and objectives I got to do. I got things I got to get through, and I need to stay on task. Stay on task. It's hard to stay on task. I'm telling you. But you got to do that. All right. So as we go along here, it says here, the writer, this is Prep. This is Prep by Prep Inc. out of Denver, Colorado. And the class is called Within My Reach. The next thought in this is smart love. What is smart love? The 7 principles of smart love is seek a good match, pay attention to values, choose a real partner, not a makeover. Don't try to change yourself to be somebody else. Expect good communication and don't run from conflict. Don't play games, pressure, or manipulate someone. Have a bottom line. Now, those are the 7 steps of smart love. Well, seek to get a good match. Get somebody that you're compatible with. You may not be totally compatible with, but get somebody that you can get along with. Get somebody that you can get along with. Somebody that you feel comfortable with. And I did somebody that you feel comfortable with, not somebody that I feel comfortable with. You. How do you feel? Do you feel comfortable with this person? Do y'all have some of the same things that you like to do? I just, just gotta seek a good match. Next thing is pay attention to their values. If their values are not the same as yours, everybody wasn't raised by a good parent. Everybody wasn't raised by good people. Everybody does not have good values. Values, how do you feel about something? Do you steal? Don't steal? Won't steal? Supposed to love one person, go to work, take care of my family. Values. What does a person have? Good values. Second is choose a real partner, not a makeover. So many times I see people in a relationship and they're going to change somebody. This person is not the person they want at this time, but they believe that this person can become the person they want. They can become the person that they want. Now, my saying is if the person is not the person you want at this time, you can't live with this person that you see at this time, and you believe that this person is going to change and you're going to work with them until they change. My thought is if you cannot live with them as they are, don't start living with them because there is no guarantee that they will ever change. My saying is if the person was crazy when you met them and 7 years down the road, they are still crazy, you cannot be mad with them because they're crazy. You just can't. You cannot be mad with them because they're crazy, because they were crazy when you met them. So one thing you can say about them 7 years later, they're consistent, but they're still crazy. So know what you want and know what you can put up with. The other thing says don't try to change yourself to be somebody else. Hey, you got to be the one to make this change. You got to be the one to make this decision. You got to be the one to try and decide, is this where I want to go? Is this who I want to be with? Is this the kind of person I think I can put up with? And I did say put up with. The next thing is expect good communication. Don't run away from conflict. Now, for a guy, nobody wants to sit down and talk with the victim if I'm the perpetrator. A lot of people have a problem with that. They just don't want to sit down and communicate and talk about it. Oh, forget it. I'm out of here. Well, guess what? If you're out of there, nothing's going to change. When you get back, guess what? It's going to be still the same, and nothing will be changed. Believe me, it won't. So stay there and work. Learn good communication skills. And we'll talk about communication as we go along in this particular lesson of within my reach. Now, the next thing is don't play games, pressure, or manipulate someone. Don't play games, don't pressure, and don't manipulate people. Because sooner or later, that person is going to catch up. I always give the example. You may use people. They may not realize it for years. But one day they put two and two together and it comes out to be four. You're in trouble. Have a bottom line. What do you really expect out of a relationship? What do you really want? What can I put up with? What can't I put up with? You may have 25 things you want out of a relationship. I encourage everyone to have at least two that'll either make or break this deal. If I don't get these two things, this deal will not go through. And that's an individual's decision. You know, I had friends that tell me that their daddy told me that it was a man's job to pay the rent. And I've had other people say different things, but I don't know. I don't know. That's up to the individual to decide what they believe should be the deal. Know what you want. Know what you want in a relationship. Think about it. What do I really, really want? What do I really, really need to make this relationship work? You need to think about that. I can't do it for you. You need to think about, what do I need? What do I want? What do I want? Do I want to be taken care of? Do I want to take care of somebody? Does that person need to work? Does that person don't need to work? What do I need? What do I need in this relationship? Don't play games. Find out what you need in this relationship. Stick to it. Remember, infatuation. Infatuation is where you are drugged. You don't know what you want to do, and you don't. Person has kind of like got you crazy. And they use you when you're in infatuation. So, problem behaviors, these are problem behaviors. Liars, controlling people, takes advantage of people, sees themselves as victims, doesn't take responsibility for their own actions, doesn't take responsibility for their own children, believe others are out to get them. These are problem behaviors. Uses people, puts negative spin on everything, changes just to please others, has big mood swings, gets very angry, blames others for their situation. Problem behaviors. Abuses substance, cheats, won't stay faithful, does crime, doesn't handle money well, won't keep a job. Those are problem behaviors. Now, you can overlook them as if you want to, but they will come to see you. And when we talk about the 7 principles of smart love, these are the 7 principles of smart love, and we'll go over them once again so that everybody will know what they are. 7 principles of smart love. Seek a good match. Pay attention to the values of the individual. Choose a real partner, not a makeover project. Don't try to change yourself to be someone else. Expect good communication. Don't run from conflict. Don't play games, pressure, or manipulate someone. Have a bottom line. Hey, well, that's our lesson for today out of Within My Reach, a prep course from Prep Inc. out of Denver, Colorado. This is your instructor, Apostle Lahavre Buck. Hey, I'm here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, belong to Triumph Church and Kingdom of God in Christ. We'd like to have you come by and be part of our congregation at 2222 North 6th Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Come to our 11 a.m. service on Sunday and see who we are. You may like it. Hey, have a fantastic day, and most of all, you live, and may God bless you.